Wisconsin. It's a whole different world out here. The weather is beautiful. There's mountains, palm trees. Pretty crowded though. Cars running fine. A few little rattles. A few issues that need to be taken care of, but it's rust free and it's running solid. Sounds nice. And we're just gonna enjoy the ride back, and we'll stop in, take pictures at different locations on Route 66. So we left Los Angeles and we're heading toward Barstow. We're gonna turn east and go to Needles. But the one thing you gotta recognize, because we're from the north where it gets freezing cold and you get frost and stuff, these roads are so fantastic. There's not a pothole, a crack or anything. It just seems like we're riding on a cushion of air. Even when you hear, you know, you just went over a bridge now, it's really nice. But you're looking around and everything is dry as a cob. It's so dry that you don't even have weeds growing. It's just bare land and little pockets of grass. And then we're going to be going toward Arizona. It's going to get real dry out there. All right, what happened is we made it to Needles, Arizona, and the car's really starting to rattle a lot, and we're dripping oil. And I went underneath there and found out that the vacuum hose that goes to the modulator is so ballooned out that it's not getting enough tension on it, so the shifting isn't very good. There's a lot of shake, rattle, and roll in this thing. Yeah, with the oil flinging all over the exhaust, it's a precautionary measure. Got a fire extinguisher at the pilot truck stop. Most likely the oil, the culprit, is the rear main seal dripping down, coming out of the inspection cover, and then it's, you know, the wind's blowing it, so it's going on the exhaust. In 1973, they were trying to comply with emission controls. And there's a device on here that reburns your unburned combustion, you know, at low RPMs and stuff. So it's called an EGR. It doesn't, this thing right here, it's a valve that makes you recirculate burn spent exhaust, trying to reburn it to get better tailpipe emissions, but doesn't make it for high performance. Yeah, you know, the whole car has a few little issues with body and paint and rattles and stuff, but we'll get through it.
We got the headers all wiped off as best as possible, and we're going to continue on into Arizona here. Alright, we've made it to Winslow, Arizona, and we're at the Delta Motel.
Alright, so we're on Route 66 motel room, and they've got them all decorated differently. We happen to be in the one that's Harley Davidson. And they've put puzzles together and then they stuck them up, and you know, the bedspreads and everything. Every room, I guess, has a different theme. And what makes Winslow, Arizona popular is the Eagles sang a song, Standing on the Corner in Winslow, Arizona. So when you're in the front office, they've got all kinds of Eagles, memorabilia, pictures of the guys in the band. And then they had the Blues Brothers here, and they had their pictures. So people that have stayed here, you know, they take pictures of them that are famous, and it's kind of cool. It's built in the 60s.
Wiping the filter off, I'm starting to wonder if maybe it's the oil pressure sending unit that is leaking.
hair and mustaches back then. But there's two of these statues right on the corner, and all the stuff related to this town is like a tourist trap, you know, centers around the song. I don't even know if the band was even here, but we got two statues on this corner, and then there's a lot of memorial names in the bricks and stuff, probably for... So another tourist standing on the corner. I'm sure the locals probably think this is bizarre. Get your Trans Am on here. See these rails? Get the TA on there and then we can look.
I don't think so.
That's it, a big fiberglass rabbit that gets you to get off the highway and go down a little frontage road just to get a picture taken of your trip. So we're at mile marker 270. We just left the Jackrabbit. Here's Route 66 alongside of the train tracks. And you got the freeway that's, you can see it, it's spitting distance away. And it just made all these businesses just disappear. Gas station all abandoned. They fenced it off. You can't go in there and look, but you see this all along the road. Businesses that have just gone broke because now everybody's just flying by at 80 miles an hour. So as you're driving down Route 66, you see all kinds of tourist locations you're supposed to check out, and we see the National Petrified Forest Center. So we pulled in here, and this is a display of a log that fell down, and due to the mineral deposits in the soil and the maybe pressure on this thing, it just gets like treated. And you can buy pieces that they cut into slabs, and it's polished and it's like glass. And it takes wood and makes it into a substance that will never rot anymore. It's just rock hard. You know? Organic wood turning to a rock. Well, everybody's got their theories. Some people say this took millions and millions of years to do it. And there's been people that did landscaping going down south, and they pushed skids off into the dirt, and later on they were going to do more landscaping and to expand the building. And also when they dug them up, these skids that were underneath this dirt and mud for like 5 years, the skid was petrified. So it blows that whole theory of that this took millions of years to do. And you know, the earth, some people say is only 6,000 years old, some people say it's billions of years old. They've got places in Chicago that were tunnels made during the 1930s when Chicago got built up, and they made all these tunnels with little trains that delivered stuff. And from 1930 till now, they had their use, and now they're not used anymore, and they have utilities going through them, but just from the minerals going through the earth and the water running through, it picks up lime. And they've got stalactites and stalagmites, and by our place where we live, there's Cave of the Mounds, and we used to see these stalactites and stalagmites in these caves, and they say they took millions of years to just grow an inch. And they got these man-made tunnels in Chicago that have stalactites that are huge and stalagmites that are growing up just from dripping of minerals. That's like quartz.
Yeah, that is cool.
But one thing you'll know is that every nationality, the Indians, the Vikings, the Italians, the people in Mesopotamia, Chinese, they all have a story about a great flood. And this is the kind of stuff that you would figure happened, when everything just got washed over. And then as the water receded and went off, and then left the soil and, mud packing and pressurizing it, this is what happened. It's like a Willis. Kind of like what a Jeep, you know, before the Jeeps, and they just turned it into a utility vehicle. This is a government-owned. Look at it, no rust, bone dry. What is this thing? Some kind of kerosene. Made in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. The way these 6x6 works, see how the differentials point up, and then they can lock in all the wheels, front and back. And I mean, these things are so heavy they want to sink. But with that much traction, they can pull, and then if they had a tank would pull them out. Now they're used in sand, where they can get stuck in sand just as easy as. You got air that you can tap off of. These things are monstrous. All you can say is that as far as the eye can see is desolation. You can wonder why when Lewis and Clark traveled across this country and they had to make it across this area, you wonder what they thought, you know, like, is this usable land or what? And in the 30s or 1940s, when they would do atomic bomb blasts out in the desert, they probably thought, what the heck, you know, it's barren land, what are we gonna ruin? As far as you drive, there's nobody living. This country is huge, but a lot of the land is just barren, and the people that live here, you wonder, what do they do all day? There's nothing to do out here. There's no place to go see a movie or go to a lake and go fishing. There's nothing. I don't even know what this place was used for a long time ago. It must have been some kind of military base. It's just empty right now. And it looks like a bunch of barracks. The truck said U.S. military on them. And there's nothing here. There's nobody in it. You must have to check out, you know, what's going on around here in case anybody's doing illegal stuff. When we stopped in Winslow, Arizona, there was one of the sites that we wanted to go check out, and it was called the Big Crater. And when we checked into the motel room, we asked them about it, you know, because we were looking for a place to stay at night, and we were only like 6 miles back, and we were thinking of going back and checking it out. And the lady at the motel goes, you know, it costs $12 to see that. I go, really? I go, what do you get to do? She goes, oh, you don't get to go down in the crater. And I says, well, what's it like? She goes, you go in, you talk to a guy, you go in a room, you watch a video. And then we asked if they had the original meteor that hit the ground. No. And then she says you stand out on a balcony and you look at the crater. They don't even let you run down in the hole or anything. So it was $12 to do that. I mean, every one of these little items is something where you got to pay to see it. And then it's like going to see the Grand Canyon or Mount Rushmore. You see it, you look at it for 5 minutes, and okay, that's cool, and you get in the car and you take off. We were going to go through the Petrified Forest, and you'll see these giant logs that look like they were 500-year-old logs, and they'll be up on I think you'd call it a butte. And they're just laying there, and you can tell somebody's been cutting on them, getting chunks off of them. But, you know, they stick out like a sore thumb. But it was $20 to drive through the park. So we blew that off. Well, just showing you a little bit of the terrain, how it's changed. Instead of going from total wasteland where even weeds don't want to grow, we've got actual trees, grass, and we're in New Mexico, or is this
Yeah, we're
New Mexico? So you can actually have some cattle grazing on this grass. Back when we were in Arizona, I felt sorry for them. Like, what the heck are they eating? And where do they get any water to drink? But they'd have a windmill So we took a road that we thought would be a shortcut bypass, and we're getting behind a semi-truck, go to gas it, take off, pass this truck up. All of a sudden he says, hey, the charging system isn't working. How long has that been like that? I don't know. So we're looking all over for an alternator. Then when we get to the tractor loader, check it out, there's no belt on the alternator. So if you look at it, you'll see the alignment of the alternator way off. So when you gas and you line it up too much, it's going to just screw the belt right off. And the only belts that we could get, probably for a snowblower or something, are too fat. So we're riding on the very upper edge of the pulley, so it's going to fly off again. So there's no going too fast with this thing. We're going to have to be. So we noticed the clutching on the AC was going on and off, even though we got the switch off. So he pulls the plug and he wants to stash it somewhere, and then I'm trying to hide the wires so they don't get caught in anything, and then I found the belt, and that's what was pulled over because you could smell rubber burning. It was on the exhaust. So something happened to the alternator when it threw the belt, and it's not charging enough, so we had to stop at a hotel before we ran out of battery with the lights on. And we're at O'Reilly Auto Parts. Hopefully they'll have a alternator for us, and we'll do a parking lot repair. The owner thinks that the stereo might have been overtaxing this smaller alternator. The guy was an electrical engineer, and he should have known that you need a stronger alternator to run all this. It might have been the cheapest one we could buy to sell it.
Alright, by miracle chance, the previous owner bought his alternator here. It was under warranty. So we got a new one screwed in, and we'll give her a shot. We also have the correct belt on it now. We were running like a snowblower belt on it from a Tractor Supply store, but it got us this far. Oh yeah. We unhooked the amps just for the rest of this road trip. We don't know if that's burning out these alternators or what.
Just showing you the kind of stuff you see as you're going down, you know, many miles down the road, and you'll see how different people have different ways of towing. And this one you can see the whole roof, the angle of the trailer. It's kind of funny. He's got it up on probably a fifth wheel or something.
Coming up on the border of Kansas here, I think. This is some pretty nice countryside. Got a bunch of wind generators over there.
They actually have grass. You look to either way on either side, and there's no houses, no farms, nothing. It's over there are all the people.
This is the Kansas Turnpike we're going through.
So last night when we were out west, I mean, there's a full moon, but it's all behind the clouds. We could have drove without our headlights last night. It was so bright out. That's a beautiful night out. I've lost all concept of time. I forgot I was supposed to go to the chiropractor again today, and she called me. We were at Tractor Motor, and that guy said that it was Sunday. I was like, today's Sunday? Oh man, I just thought it was still Saturday. It's all we've been doing is driving. It's the same thing, just getting from one spot. Now we want to go to Des Moines. It's another 170 miles. All we do is get a tank of gas, and then we gotta go to the bathroom. It's like every time we gotta go to get gas, you gotta go to the bathroom, man.
What's the next day? It took us 3 days to drive it back. Probably tough to see, but it was leaking so much oil, it started picking up dirt. There's oil all over the back of the car. It's really not recommended that you drive a car like that. We were pretty worried about a fire, so we kept wiping it off every single fuel up. I saw a real nice Firebird catching fire once during the motor break-in because the valve cover was leaking a ton of oil. So fire is always a concern with oil leaks. You can see it is a 455. The stamping on the front here matches the VIN, fortunately. Looks like a freeze plug's leaking up there. We're gonna have to wipe this car down and try and figure out exactly where it's coming from. It's possible it was coming from the oil pressure sending unit. I'll take this inspection cover off here in a second, see how dry it is under there. But the whole underside of the car just got a bath in oil. You can see how nice all these rocker panels are. Quarters look nice. I believe it to be all original sheet metal on this car. You know, frame rails look nice. Here's a look at the trunk drops. Perfect shape. You can see the quarter lips, beautiful. The floor pan's also that like red paint they put on there. Car was not undercoated. Something happened to the bottom of this driver's side fender here. It actually kind of ripped the lip off, but I think we can fix it. Core support looks just beautiful. Some sort of ring under here. It's probably one of the rattles. That ring is supposed to hold this canister, so it was more than likely a double rattle. Here's a major clunk right here. Here's a close-up at the front portion of the frame rail in the back, and it's pretty much flawless. Very satisfied with the whole underside of this car. The body work is actually pretty horrendous on it, so we're going to get all the mechanical stuff fixed, and then maybe a year or two down the road look at putting a super nice paint job on it. Somebody put an LED in this thing that lights up under wide open throttle. And I don't know what's going on with that, but loose wires cause fires. That'll be about it for this video. You can look forward to some future videos of work being done on this car.